So I trained as a theatre designer, but I knew from a pretty early age that I never wanted to be a theatre designer. I'm too analytical, so I sort of have this kind of like left brain, right brain blend. And so doing something theatrical that plays out within a retail context was a sort of natural move. And so that's sort of how I got into doing windows and visual merchandising. So I'm Vice President of Creative Visual Merchandising. I oversee the windows, the in-store visuals, event, creative direction around events, signage, storytelling, artwork, anything that really happens within a Tiffany store from a sort of creative perspective is within my team's remit. I think Gene Moore informed everyone's work that works within my industry. You know, he was a very visionary leader in terms of in creating artistic collaborations across many different window campaigns. And so I think his legacy lives on, not only in terms of the work that we do at Tiffany, but kind of the work of window design across all retailers now. And I think, you know, having him as part of our legacy is amazing. And so really what we try to do is leverage as much of that content, as much of those amazing windows and ideas and spirit, and really explore that in the work that we do at Tiffany. I think it's really our sense of detail and craftsmanship married with storytelling. So being able to tell a New York story really through the lens of Tiffany within the windows is what makes them unique, but also just the level of craft and detail and exquisite creativity that I think is so important to telling our sort of story around the holidays. So we would be talking for a long time if I was really to take you through the whole process. You know, we work for about a year on our holiday campaign, from early ideation and brainstorming with our colleagues across the rest of the marketing platforms here at Tiffany, through to designing the windows, working with vendors, craftspeople, theatre designers, model makers, set builders, to really sort of create the windows that you see at Tiffany. It's a very sort of long process, and what that allows us to do is really create something that is so unique and achieve that level of craftsmanship that we have within our product. It really is seen within the windows. Make the world sparkle is our overarching concept and theme that you'll see through all of the touch points, and how that manifests itself within the windows is really through this idea of New York City sparkle. So when you come to New York at the holidays, the city is lit up, from the tree at Rockefeller through to holiday windows and people's decoration around the holidays is really about the sense of sparkle. And one of the things that we try to do with these windows is explore that through the creativity and the energy that the city has at that time of year. One of my favourite projects that I worked on was really our collaboration with Baz Luhrmann and Catherine Martin for The Great Gatsby work that we did. It was such an enjoyable project to work with such incredible creative people outside of our field, but within a similar world, and that sort of coming together of creative minds was, I think, very inspirational for me and my team here at Tiffany. And it was an exciting moment for us to celebrate something that was just so perfectly matched with the work that we do at Tiffany. I think you always bring in an aesthetic. It's sort of often hard to sort of quantify what that is. My personal design aesthetic is quite sort of functional and quite utilitarian to some degree. It's very sort of practical. What we're in the business of selling diamonds and selling jewels and selling things that are perhaps more decorative and more lavish, especially when you look at these windows and how multi-layered they are. So I do think that you inevitably bring in that sensibility, but it's really about Tiffany's style and being able to translate that style and put that onto a stage, put that out into the windows, put that into the stores, and really being able to do that convincingly is obviously one of the challenges that anyone that works for any brand has to do, is to synthesize the brand DNA and create work that resonates with the consumer. I think, I was going to say the only thing I can't work without is coffee, but I do think, though, being born of New York, being a brand born of New York and working in New York is so important. You just need to look out of the window to see the city and to be inspired by this city. And so I would say doing this job can only be done really based in New York.